I'm Jono Buchanan, and in this video we're going to look at the arrange track which exists within global tracks. What this lets us do is to structure a piece of music that we're beginning to build pretty intelligently, allowing us to move sections around, extend them, and do various other things too. We're going to take a look, but firstly what we're going to do is listen back to the arrangement I've put together here of one of the live loop sessions. Let's just listen to the track we'll be working with. Okay, so there's the structure of my track. Now, before I start thinking about exactly how I want to start working with the arrangement track, there's one thing I want to do, which is that I want to open up the filter, which I've put on these sort of drum and bass style beats that I've programmed. And what I'm going to do is just to record a little bit of automation data. I want to have the filter open up through the kind of second part of the introduction of this track, which starts from here. So what I'm going to do is to drop the cutoff frequency to the point where I want it to start, and what I'm going to do is just record a little ramp. Okay, so just into that section, I'm going to come back into read mode. And what we can do is to open up the automation and just check that we're seeing that line as it's been recorded. Sure enough, there it is. Okay, so what exactly do I mean by the arrangement track? Well, let's come out of the automation view for a moment. And instead, let's open up global tracks, which are here. Now, when I click this button, what we have a chance to do is to see the global tracks of my project. Now, global tracks are tracks that affect everything within the project. Tempo would be a really great example. I don't have different tracks playing back at different tempi. Effectively, what I've got is a global tempo which controls the tempo of all of the individual tracks within my piece. So I'm seeing the tempo line here, and obviously the track is in 4/4, and if I was to change the time signature, that would affect all of the tracks within my arrangement. So the arrangement track is up here at the top, and the advantage of working with arrangement tracks becomes clear when we then map the individual sections of our track. Now, to show me that the arrangement track is active, I've got one pre-configured section which Logic is calling section A. It's just the default arrangement track block. But what I can see is that it starts in bar 1, whereas my track actually starts in bar 2. And also this isn't section A, this is the intro. So what I'm going to start by doing is basically adjusting the left and right edges of the arrangement track around the sections of my piece. I'm going to make sure that the left-hand edge is bang on the beginning of bar 2. And what I'm then going to do is adjust the right-hand edge so it's here. This isn't section A, it's the intro. Now I can do a couple of things to change its name. I can either click on the drop-down menus here and select one of the sort of pre-existing names of the sections that I might want to work with, and sure enough this is the intro, and I can select it. Or what I can do is to rename it completely, which I'm going to need to do for the next option, which we'll see for the next section in a moment. Now then, the temptation would be to say, okay, well what I want to do immediately is to copy the name of this arrangement section to the next part of my track. But I don't want to do that, because if I did do that, what Logic is actually going to do is to extend the intro, because effectively what I've done when I create an arrangement section is I've created a kind of trigger for copying entire sections of my track. In other words, by copying the name intro, I copy all of the data that exists within the intro up to the next section, shunting the rest of the track back. So what I'm going to do is to undo that, Apple and Z to undo and come back to where I was. And instead what I'm going to do is to select the pencil tool, and I'm going to click very carefully at the beginning of this bar. Now, it's really easy to inadvertently click in the wrong place. I'll show you what I mean. Again, if I was to undo that so I didn't have this section, if I just wander over here and I click here, not only is this intro not the name of the section I want to use, it's not the right length, and by clicking in the wrong bar, I've actually extended the original intro length. Now, we've just seen that if I copy the intro, it's going to copy everything within that range, which immediately is going to introduce bars I don't want and all kinds of trouble. So, two things to do. Firstly, what I'm going to do is to come back to the pointer tool. I'm going to make sure that I'm adjusting this so it's exactly where I want the original intro to end. I'm then going to come and find the next section and drag it out to this point here. And this time, I'm going to click down on the drop-down menus and I'm going to come to rename, and I'm going to call this intro development. It's still the intro, but this is the area where what I've done is to create my little sort of ramp of automation data for the drums. So this next section is the next part that I need to create an arrangement for. Again, I'm going to click carefully this time, making sure that I've selected the pencil tool. Okay, I've missed it again. This time I'm on beat 2, which would be even worse. I'm going to end up with one extra beat. We already know it's not a problem. I can come back to the pointer tool, adjust that back to here, and make sure that this section here, which again, it's copied the name from before, but I'm going to call this section A. This is the main section of my track. I'm going to need one more at the end. Again, I'm going to use the pencil tool, obviously, to create it. See if I actually nail it this time. Yes, right on that bar line, great. And then what I'm going to do is to adjust the end, and I'm going to call this the outro. So this is the end of my piece, and here is the outro section, which I'm going to choose here. Now, we've effectively already seen the power of the way that this can work, because what I can do in order to, let's say, decide that instead of being the outro, what I want to do is to go from this section here back into section A, or maybe what I want to do is to say, okay, well, I want to use the intro development a second time, is I could click on this section here to select it, hold down the option button, and simply copy this arrangement area to the bar where I want this to work and drop it. And when I do, it takes this area with it. Now, it's just so happened that because these loops aren't perfectly on these lines, it's just borrowed these sections in here, which I don't want either. So I'm just going to get rid of those because I don't need them. And effectively what I've now got is this nice area, which is coming in here, and I've grabbed all of the information in the intro development and I've brought it into the end here as well. Now, you might be thinking, has it taken the automation data with it as well? And that would be an excellent thing to be wondering. Were you wondering that? Okay, well, let's have a look. If we open up the automation, yep, sure enough, it has. Now, sometimes, particularly right on bar lines, if you think about it, this little bit of automation data is snapping back down to a value that's lower than the top right on that bar line. So it could be that that just needs a little bit of finessing. And what I need to do is to come back and just maybe make sure that that's dropping in time for that downbeat. But of course, just because I've copied this section doesn't mean that the data within it can't then be manipulated. Not only can I change the automation data for just this intro development repeat, of course, if I want to, I could have this part continue through this section and I can effectively just add that in. So effectively I can use the arrangement markers as a means to copy lots of individual track sections from one area to the next very straightforwardly. But what I can also do is to continue to make each section sort of individual in terms of what actually goes in it. And so very quickly what I can start doing is building an arrangement and getting to a point where I've got a more sophisticated arrangement going on. So the arrangement track lets me do that. So this is a really great tool if you have got the sections of your track already mapped out and you want to be in a position where you can take lots of chunks of different bits of your music and move them around. Just be really careful that you set the start and the end points of each arrangement section perfectly on the downbeats of the bars that you're working with so that you don't run into the trouble or problems of extra bars or missing beats or anything along those lines.